This live stream was made possible due to the supporters on Patreon. Patreon.com is a way to support me for exchange of extra benefits, including rare behind-the-scenes photos, Discord VIP lounge benefits, and much more. Again, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $1.99 per month. Again, go to patreon.com/The Tyler Show to learn more about becoming a Patreon member. Alrighty, what's going on, everyone? Welcome into the show. We appreciate you being here. My name is Tyler. Thank you so much for checking out this Friday's live stream. Once again, we appreciate all of you joining us. I am the host and I am the producer here, so I'm pulling all the buttons, pulling all the levers. So if there's anything that goes technically wrong, you can blame me. Anyway, you can follow me online. That is at the Cruise Junkie on most social media platforms. But we are joined here with a very special guest. Very special guest today. None other than my good buddy all the way over there from Texas, Travel with Nick. You can go follow him online at with Travel with Nick. Nick, thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thank you so much for inviting me. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, so we're gonna be talking about Carnival Breeze and just cruising in general. So again, if you have any questions, as mentioned, see the thing on the bottom of the screen right down below. You can go ahead and ask your question in chat by tagging us at The Tyler Show. Again, we'll do our best to answer all questions about Carnival Breeze and just cruising in general. So, again, y'all, Nick, before we get anything further into the show, first introduce yourself to the people who do not know you already.
So what's up, everybody? I'm Nick J. I run the channel Travel with Nick, and you'll be able to find lots of Texas-based travel content. We do typically cruise a lot, and we cruise Carnival. We'll eventually try some other cruise lines out, but you mainly find Carnival content over there, and it's always a great time. I have a bunch of content coming out from my recent cruise here on board the Carnival Breeze, so I'm really excited to get that content out for you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much who I am. I'm Nick.
Yeah, Nick, again, if you haven't seen his first video yet already, boy, it is just some of the best content on the internet. You just gotta check it out. We'll get into more about the creating section a little bit later in the show, because pick his brain, because this, I tell you, some of the stuff he does with his editing, I don't know how he does it. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But Nick, you think we should go ahead and let's dive into your cruise on the Carnival Breeze?
Alrighty.
So the first question, of course, here on the show, what made you book this cruise in particular? There's so many other ships sailing out of Galveston with Carnival, like the Vista. There's ships and just other cruises on the Breeze. What made you choose this date in particular and this itinerary? So
it worked for our school schedule, or my school schedule, and everybody else who was going their work schedule. So that part was a go. And then the prices as well. We ended up getting a really good deal on this cruise. I don't want to exactly say the price, but we ended up getting the balcony, so it did get a little bit more expensive. But to say the least, we could have booked this cruise for under $800 at the least. So we got a really good deal on it, and I've always wanted to cruise on the Carnival Breeze. It was actually the very first ship that I had ever seen when I wasn't on a cruise ship. It was also the cruise ship that got pretty much my, not this channel, but my whole cruising video creating video thing off the ground. So it was really cool to finally get on that ship.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we went to Texas earlier this summer and saw the Breeze, because we had the Breeze here in Carnival for a while, so it was good to see her again. The Breeze is a stunning ship, but let's first go ahead and move on to the next question. Give me some pre-cruise thoughts before heading on the ship.
So I was honestly really nervous. This was something that I did mention, but I didn't really dive into details. So we ended up getting our COVID tests before the cruise, as you know. Well, I don't know exactly how things have changed, because I know there's been a lot of different changes. But you have to get a COVID test 2 days before the cruise starts. So we ended up getting our test 2 days before, but I ended up getting my results 1 day before. And so basically everybody else in our party that was going, they got their results pretty much immediately. But mine almost took 24 hours to get here. We actually had to call CVS. So, yeah, that's something I would recommend. Call them if you go through CVS to get your COVID testing. because that was a real fiasco. I wasn't sure if I was going to get on board. But otherwise, I was really, really excited and just ready to finally get back on board a Carnival cruise ship.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you did CVS, right? So overall, how was that experience beside the fiasco of the a little bit delayed test result?
Okay, so this was something I've also heard. It was kind of confusing because everything wasn't on the same page. Like on the outside of the CVS, it said to wait in your car and somebody will assist you outside. Like someone will just come outside. I guess someone would supposed to be watching to see if cars pull up for COVID testing. But we ended up waiting in our car for about maybe 10, 15 minutes, and they didn't come out. So we went through the drive-thru, and they told us to wait back in the same spot, but we were like, we just waited there. So then we went inside, and then that's where the whole COVID testing situation happened, and we were able to just walk up. So it was really weird. Like, we didn't even really have to well, I think we did have to schedule it, but it was just kind of weird. It was almost like you could just walk up and get a test. It was just really unorganized.
Yeah, that's very interesting because I know that's really one of the only two places you can get it at. You can get the CVS, you can do the at-home test, or if your community has a local testing site. But those local testing sites are usually 3 and 4 days, so not for the cruising. So I guess really the only options are those CVS or the binary at-home test that you can take, those little packets you can get.
Yeah, those are expensive.
Yeah, definitely, and I know they expire too. So if you're planning to go on cruises, you have to make sure you get those tests in time. Because I know a lot of people who got the test and then their cruise, they either didn't use the test in time and they had to go buy a whole new set like a few days before their cruise. So that is for sure. So of course, well, luckily Carnival, they don't require testing at the terminal if you're vaccinated. So overall, besides testing, how was embarkation experience over there at the port in Galveston?
So it was really, really quick. For me especially, we ended up having some issues with our vaccination cards with some other people in our party. But otherwise, it was a really quick process. We just had to wait for those other people to finish. But otherwise, without that issue, without us having to wait, it probably would have taken about maybe 15, 20 minutes to get on the ship from start to fit, like from the beginning of the terminal all the way to on the ship. It was really simple and easy.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, I know how fast the boarding is nowadays, and I'm glad to see that even though with this whole COVID stuff that you can still get on the ship lickety-split. So that's great. So you made your way on board the Carnival Breeze. What was your first impressions?
I said, wow, I don't know how many times, because like I said, Breeze has always been a ship that I've just wanted to get on, and to finally actually be there, it was just so awesome. And then of course the big atrium lobby that's like 11 stories high, when that's the first view you get. So just looking up there was just so awesome, because without have been on a cruise ship in almost 2 years, not really remembering how all of that felt, it was just kind of weird. So finally being back was just a real wow moment, and it was just super exciting. So
yeah, and one of the cool things about the Breeze is it's one of the first ships to feature Carnival's new decor choices. So it's just a stunning ship. Yeah. And speaking of the decor choices, we have to mention the person who made this ship. That's right. Today's fun fact. This is a new segment to maybe only here for this show. Could be goodbye if no one likes it. So anyhow, we're talking about the decor. So today's fun fact is that the Carnival Magic, the ship before the Breeze, was the very last ship that had had anything to do with designing the whole entire ship. If you guys aren't familiar, Joe Farkas, basically he designed every ship since the Carnival all the way back there. And again, Breeze only had the theater and the casino designed by good old Mr. Joe. So as Nick and me and you know both, that the decor on the Breeze is simply stunning. So again, that was today's fun fact. But yeah, the Breeze decor is absolutely stunning. And I'm so glad Carnival went in the direction of using the German designers, because it's just stunning.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there you go. So you made your way on board, of course. Then you had to make your way to the muster station. But after that, you made your way over to the stateroom. What did you get, and what did you think after you arrived in your stateroom?
So our stateroom, honestly, from going to the different hotels and reviewing them in Galveston, obviously, you know, cruise ship staterooms are a little bit smaller than those. So it was kind of just like a feeling. It was kind of like a little bit cramped than I was used to, because those hotels. But otherwise, it was really nice. The decor was like light and airy. It felt pretty open after I got used to it. There was a bunch of storage space, as you guys know. And what we ended up getting for our VIFP points, we got 2 free waters. You actually have to go redeem those now. They don't send them to your cabin anymore. So you have to go to one of the bars. We ended up going to the Breeze bar, which is located in the atrium on deck number 3. But we ended up getting those 2 of those for free because we are gold status, and you do get them if you are red status as well. And then we also get a gold VIFP pin. You get those if you are a gold member once again. And we didn't end up getting them because, like I said, they don't deliver the gifts anymore. You have to go redeem them. But it was too late. So pro tip, if you guys go on any Carnival ship now, you have to go to the Pixels Gallery to redeem your gift. Well, that's if it's not a water. And you have to do it 2 days before, not 2 days before your cruise starts, but 2 days into your cruise. You can't do it anything past 2 days. So it was kind of interesting how they did that.
That is interesting that you can't even, they don't give you the bottles of waters in your rooms anymore, and you have to go ask for them. That is interesting because I know on Royal Caribbean, they still give you those complimentary bottles of water and give you the welcome aboard gifts no matter what. So that is interesting that Carnival made the decision to withhold that until you have to go ahead and ask for it. So that's very, very interesting. So
For sure.
You did a Cove balcony, if I'm correct, right?
Yes.
Yes,
it was awesome. I really loved it.
Yeah, so my question is, would you do it again on any other ship? Because here's the deal. The Cove balcony, for me, if I go on a Carnival cruise, that's definitely one of the rooms I'm looking at because you feel so connected to the water, on particularly the older Cove balconies.
Yeah, so I would totally do it again. Really, any ship in the Carnival fleet that has the Cove balconies would completely do it. I would be aware of a little bit of sea spray. I know on the Mardi Gras, it has like glass, so there's not any openings for really water to go into your balcony. But if you do run into some rough storms like we did, you're gonna get some sea spray, and the balcony is gonna remain almost constantly wet when you're in those storms. So.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I know here in the Mardi Gras, it's a little bit higher, I believe, than all the other classes, or at least it looks higher than all the other ships. Yeah. So I know if you're on Mardi Gras, be cautious that it's not as close to the water as the other ships, but it's still pretty close. And definitely the Cove balcony, when I do my Carnival cruise one of these days, I'm definitely going to look at trying to do one of those Cove balconies because it's a really cool concept.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about everyone's favorite part of the cruise, or at least most people's favorite part of the cruise, and that is the food. So, of course, the Carnival Breeze does have some signature Carnival concepts such as Guy's Burger Joint, Blue Iguana, and a whole lot more. So let's first start off at the Lido Marketplace. Let's talk about the buffet first. So overall, what was your experience throughout the cruise at the Lido Marketplace?
Oh boy, so the food was good. It wasn't anything over that. It wasn't really anything under that. It was just flat out good. And I actually ended up reviewing this cruise over on Shipmate, and I gave the lowest rating of a 6 out of 10. The food was kind of plain. Like I had to mix it all for it to really have any flavor to it. So it was okay. And then the deli is also in the Lido Buffet Marketplace area. So I ended up getting a BLT, and like it's just bacon, lettuce, and tomato. So what else can you expect? So I guess thinking from that perspective, I would give it maybe like an 8 for a BLT. I mean, it was good, but it was just bacon, lettuce, and tomato. So, but yeah, I only got breakfast from the buffet and, like I said, the BLT from the deli.
Yeah, it's kind of the same concept I'd use with Royal Caribbean, which is only getting breakfast and lunch sometimes from the buffet. And if there's a ship that does have another lunch option, go to that one instead. Because the buffet, the quality isn't as same as the main dining room or anything like that. So. Speaking of the Lido Marketplace, you have Guy's Burger Joint, of course, Carnival's #1 signature signature restaurant on board, most of it. So what was your overall review on Guy's Burger Joint throughout the cruise, not just on the first day? I know your first day experience of Guy's wasn't exactly the best, so let's go ahead and dive into that.
So, overall, I would give Guy's Burgers a 9 out of 10. That was the highest rating I gave any of the food on the cruise. So the first day, I wasn't in the mood for a burger. I wasn't actually hungry at all. So I pretty much forced myself to eat the burger, and obviously Guy's Burgers, they're really good. So it was good, but it wasn't incredibly good, as good as I would have imagined because I wasn't hungry at the point. And then the second day, I ended up getting a Guy's Burger. Once again, wasn't hungry for a burger, but hey, got one anyways because you're on a cruise, right? So that was just okay. And then, of course, on the last day, always something new happens on the last day. I decided to try a different guy's burger that I had never tried before. The pig patty, you got to try it. It was hands down the best burger I have ever had, period. So it was really fantastic. Pig patty, you got to try it.
That's I'm looking forward to getting on Carnival and trying that guy's burger, because here's the deal. Most other cruise lines, they don't got good burgers, but I know Carnival, again, smashed it out of the park with the burgers. It's one thing I wish Royal Caribbean would do, put a burger side restaurant. They have Johnny Rockets, but Johnny Rockets isn't that great, and you gotta pay for it. So Carnival, big respect for them doing the complimentary burgers as much as you want. They're not limiting you, so that's a big respect with Carnival. Speaking of Lido Marketplace on board the Carnival Breeze, did you try the Blue Iguana Cantina when you were on board?
I did. So it was good. 8 out of 10. It honestly wasn't what I remembered it to be. It was really good, but it wasn't to the expectation I remembered it to. I had it pretty much every single day of the cruise. I had a day 2, day 4, and then day 5. I skipped on Cozumel because I went to the buffet that day. But it was just okay, and I honestly got really tired of it by the end of the cruise. So for considering I only had it 3 days, I can't imagine what it's going to be like if I do a 7-day cruise and what I'm going to eat for breakfast. But it was about an 8 out of 10. It was pretty good.
Yeah, that's one of the things on a cruise ship, which I know a lot of the cruise lines are getting into the market doing Mexican restaurants. So I know Carnival recently, that restaurant has been getting mixed review of their food, either being somewhat lukewarm or not flavorful enough. So I know that some of the things Carnival does have to fix is some of the heating problems with the food. Was that a problem on your cruise? Was the food like cold, or was that any of the problems on the cruise?
No, I mean, at least it was warm, but that wasn't really a problem for me. But no, never a cold meal that wasn't supposed to be cold.
That is good to hear that at least you never had any cold food. So let's go ahead and move over to the MDR. Then we'll get to specialty restaurants, because I believe you did have one specialty restaurant experience on board the cruise. So overall,
yes.
With the MDR, what time did you have and what did you think?
So we had our 8:15 dining, and it was really, really good. Honestly, the best dining experience I had. I ended up getting the grilled, I think it was the grilled garlic shrimp that night. And then for the appetizer, they had this mushroom soup, which was really good. Would really recommend it. Probably some of the best quality food I had on that trip. So it was really great. The dinner shows, I missed those the absolute most, and it was so great to finally see the dinner people, or not the dinner people, the what do you call them, the waiters perform again. It was absolutely fantastic. Carnival really does up the dinner parties, so that was really fun. What else? That was the only night we ate in the main dining room. So, but yeah, food was good.
That's good to hear. And one of the things we hear a lot about the main dining room at Carnival is the earlier seating. They're really fast with the service. How was the service in terms of speed? Was it get your food out quicker, or were they not in as much of a rush? Because I know some of the things about Carnival, especially on the Breeze, is that the service is good, but they're a little bit slower with the second seating in terms of getting your food out to you.
So, did not seem rushed at all. It wasn't like extremely quick, but we probably at most waited for our food about maybe 15 minutes or so, and our food came out piping hot. Like I couldn't eat it for a few minutes. So, that's always good. That was a good quality and a good temperature.
Yeah, that's always good when your food comes out and it's steaming hot, because it's freshly made.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and sail over to the specialty restaurant. And I believe, how many meals do you eat there? Is there one meal in the specialty restaurant, or two?
You know how this dance works.
So I'm sorry, can you repeat that question again? I didn't quite catch that.
Yeah, so out of the whole sailing, how many times, so you had 4 dinners, how many out of those 4 dinners were in a specialty restaurant?
Okay, so I ate in the specialty restaurant twice. We went to Cucina del Capitano, and we went to the Seafood Shack, which we got a story about that, but yeah.
So how was Capitano? Was it any good? And what was your favorite part of eating there? What was your favorite portion or favorite? Was it the entree, or was it the dessert? What was your favorite moment from there?
So food was excellent. Everyone really enjoyed all the food that we got. Now, I don't know what y'all are going to think of me for saying this, but the the appetizer was the best thing I had. And well, actually, I take that back. The bread was the best thing I had. That bread was super delicious. I don't even know what they did to it, but it was really good bread. And then for the entree, I ended up getting some type of pasta. I couldn't read it because half of it was in Italian, but it was still really good nonetheless. They had this different type of sauce to it, so I don't know what exactly they did, but it was absolutely excellent. And it was really cool because the dishes were kind of like they were just different. It wasn't anything like art like they do in Rudy's on the Mardi Gras, but it was everything had like a different shape to it. It was different.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm looking forward to getting back when I get back cruising, hopefully sometime in the following months, who knows when. But getting back and going to one of the Italian restaurants on board a ship, because the food always looks good at those Italian restaurants. That is for sure. So speaking of food, we just covered almost all the food. The Seafood Shack, again, we don't want to spoil your video. So what can you tell us about the Seafood Shack?
Well, it's right down there with the buffet. It was about a 6 out of 10 for me. And what else can I say about it? We ended up getting really almost everything they had to offer on the menu, except for the clam. I think it's called clam chowder. They served that in like a bread bowl, which was pretty cool. But we didn't end up getting that. We got the lobster rolls. We got the shrimp, fish, I believe, fries. They had crab cakes, I believe it was crab cakes or salmon cake, something like that. And I mean, I'll save my reaction for the video, but it was interesting.
Yeah, that's for sure. I know seafood on cruise ships are always hit and miss, so again, it's very, very interesting for sure. So one of the things, of course, I mentioned earlier with Mr. Joe Farkas, one of the things he did design on the cruise ship was the theater. Speaking of that, how was the entertainment overall throughout the entire cruise?
That was the best entertainment I have ever seen on a cruise ship, period. Everybody, I've had looked at some reviews of the Breeze right before our cruise, and everyone had just been raving about the entertainment. And I was like, well, I mean, what's so good about these shows I've already seen on past Carnival cruises? The performers, the entertainers, they were super excellent this time. I don't know what was different, but everyone was just on point. The singing, the dancing, it was just absolutely fantastic. And if you have Flick on one of your Carnival cruises that you go on, you've absolutely got to see that. That was the best show I've ever seen, period.
That is just awesome to hear. I know the cruise director looks like she was absolutely killing it. This looked like a fantastic cruise. That is for sure. Again, the first video, the sail away party looked absolutely 100% epic. Again, hands down, still thanks to this day, Carnival is the leader in sail away parties, and all other cruise ships need to copy their format because it absolutely works 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about the sea days. So on this cruise, of course, you had the 4-night cruise to Cozumel and back. That means you had 2 sea days. So how about the sea days, and how did the ship handle sea days? Because if you guys don't know, Carnival is, of course, at a higher capacity, and sea days are always very, very packed. Not even just in terms of people, but just certain venues are very, very busy compared to port days.
Yeah, so I'm happy to report that nothing really seemed overcrowded at all, except for back on the first day when like rooms weren't ready, and for the sail away party, because of course that's the main event of the day. But for the sea days, everybody was just dispersed into their own areas. People were in there were things going on all the time. Like events would overlap, which was kind of a negative at some points during the cruise, because there were activities I wanted to go to, but it would interfere with like dinner or something like that. So that was kind of upsetting, but just constantly things to do. Everybody was just like in the theater. There were some people in the comedy lounge. There were people up on Lido. There were people eating. So it was a really good disbursement of the crowd, and it just never felt crowded at all.
That is good to hear, because I do know before the whole thing happened, sea days was some of the busiest days on the ship in terms of the Lido and all that good stuff. So that's good to hear that they handled the crowd management very, very great. So let's talk about Cozumel, your only port stop on this entire sailing on board the Breeze. What did you do there, and how did you enjoy the port?
So the port was good. I mean, it was just how like I remembered it. I think this is our 6th cruise in a row going to Cozumel, so we've kind of gotten to see it change and develop over the past few years. But compared to the last time we were there, pretty much the exact same. We just ended up doing a little bit of shopping in Cozumel. Needed to get a Cozumel magnet because I'm collecting those for each port I go to. But we ended up finding this cool spot. It's in the Carnival Corporation port area, so you guys have to check this out. I'm covering it in the video, but it's like this. It's not necessarily a beach, but there's a blocked off area right by the water. It's really low, so you're pretty much getting the ocean waves sort of crashing up close to you, but not exactly. There's a little bit of a barrier, but there's sand. There's actually a restaurant behind you, and so the servers actually come out to the outside part and serve you if you want any food there. But it was just a really nice, relaxing spot. You're right close to the ship, so no worries about being late. You got some great views of the clear water because the water's super shallow over there. So it was just a really nice, relaxing day in Cozumel. Got some great drone footage because it's really close to the cruise ship and the shopping area. So, no, it was just an absolute fantastic day in Cozumel.
That is great to hear. Yeah, I'm up with you with my terms of my cruise numbers actually going to Cozumel. I've been pretty much there almost every cruise, it seems like. And, yeah, Cozumel, always a good time there. That is for sure. And especially over there at the Carnival Pier, because I do like the one thing about Carnival is they do have their own pier sort of in Cozumel versus you have other cruise lines like Royal Florida has their own pier. But the other cruise lines like Disney and other stuff like that, they have to use another pier down there a little bit further. So that is good to hear that you had a fantastic time. So we're starting to spool down the review, if you will. Do you have any first-time tips for anyone sailing the Breeze in the next few months or a few years?
So I would recommend getting up, just depends on what type of vacationer you are, but I recommend getting up early in the morning because that's when absolutely nobody is out, especially while like reduced capacity is a thing. And I would just get up and explore the ship because there's nobody there and you can just explore the ship, without anybody really bothering you. So that's really nice, especially late at night too. I noticed it wasn't even 12 o'clock yet on most of the nights. And it was just completely empty around the ship. Like people were either just in the casino chilling there or in the nightclub. And those were pretty much the only two lively areas and everything else was just dead quiet. So
that is interesting because before the whole thing happened, the ship was packed any time of the day. Lido usually on most ships at night was kind of empty, but besides that, no, almost all the indoor section was packed. So that's very interesting for sure. We're gonna get to the chat now.
Yeah.
We forgot to do this earlier in the show. Forgive me, guys. Again, we're gonna say hey to the folks in the chat. First person in was Nathan from Best of Boat Worlds. Nathan, good to have you in here. We also have Anthony. And of course, the one, the only, the legendary, as you see here on our screen, Travel with Nick was in here. We also have John from J&N Travels. We also have Dave from Just Dave, the Down Under Cruisers. Also have Kathy L. We have also Michelle and also Nathan. So again, we have some questions here in the chat. Again, if you have any questions, ask your question in the chat by tagging us at the Tyler Show, and we'll do our best to answer any type of questions nowadays. So our first question here comes from Kathy. What made Nick choose Carnival Cruise Line over all the other lines?
So originally it wasn't necessarily my choice. It was kind of my family's choice. So basically how we started off cruising, my family or other people in my family, they cruise like a lot. So they've been on Princess, Norwegian, Royal. What's another one? I think they've been on Holland America too. But anyways, Carnival, they said they enjoyed the most out of all of them. So that was the one we took the family on all together. That was my first cruise back on the Carnival Triumph 2014. Really great cruise. But yeah, that just kind of sparked our interest with Carnival. And then from there, we ended up building up our status. And we've just had a great time every single time. Never a bad experience. So
that is good to hear there. So now we'll move away from the Carnival for a little bit. Nathan has a question here about his favorite cruise line, the American Cruise Line Company. He's talking about what do you think about their new ship? And I have to say, it looks very interesting. I was talking about this at dinner. I believe it looks a lot like the military ships that have like the catamarans. I'm not sure if you've seen it. I should have, if I knew better. I should have thrown a photo up here on the screen, but it looks like the computer is still giving me problems with all the CPU stuff. So. But that's what I think. Nick, what do you think of their new class of ships? I know it looks very interesting, that is for sure.
Yeah, was that the type of ship that looked sort of like a catamaran?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got to see more of the ship. But so far, it just looks like a catamaran to me. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it ends up building up. But
Yep, that is for sure. And again, if you have any other cruise questions, I guess any questions in general involving the cruise industry, whether that's being a content creator, anything like that, feel free to, again, tag us in chat. We'll be here for about the next 25 minutes or so. So, again, y'all, Nick has a series coming out, of course, on his channel, where he's basically showing the Carnival Breeze. And again, I think it goes about once a month or so to get one of these videos done. If you have not seen this first episode already, make sure you go ahead and check it out. It's an amazing episode. I was talking to Brandon at the port a few weekends ago, and we were both impressed just by the level of production on this video. It's absolutely stunning.
oh, thank you. Took a lot of work.
Yeah, so my thing going at it is, do you figure out the music in advance, or do you figure out how you're going to present the whole show in advance, or do you just wing the video when on the ship? Like, you're just like, we're going to film it, or do you have a plan going into the cruise?
So as soon as we booked that cruise back in, I think it was September, I was like, all right, I've got to pick up all the music right now. So I ended up picking out, all of the music that I wanted to use. So I was just kind of brainstorming throughout how long? September, October, November, December. So like 4 months to kind of brainstorm how I wanted to put everything together. And so, I just picked up all the music beforehand. And then when we got on the ship, I did have a format that I wanted to film things in. But if I'm going to be honest with you, when it comes to filming, that's what never works out for me. So I just ended up, after it kind of went haywire, I just kind of winged it, and it ended up turning out pretty good. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just amazed. I don't know how you do it with picking out the music in advance and thinking the whole thing out. I'm just amazed, and big respects to you for doing that, because that song you used for the opening, I fit the music just perfectly, the Coming Back song. That was absolutely perfect.
Oh, thank you.
So my next tip when it comes to creating, or next question for you, is editing. How do you figure out how to cut down the clips? Because the thing with me with coming out with content is cutting out things. Like, there's a lot of things you want to put in the video, but at the same time, it will not add to your story a little bit. Like, we're here getting water at the buffet. No one really wants to see that. So how do you figure out what to add and what not to add and what to cut out?
Yeah, so I just try to watch through my entire video. And I think Brandon, I can't remember if he said it, but I think Brandon, kind of what he was saying, if you can't watch through your own video, then you got to cut some stuff out. And so I would just watch through the whole entire video. And if I felt the clip wasn't necessarily relevant to what the video was about, I would just completely cut it out. And although it would kind of hurt me deep inside a little bit because of how short the video ended up being, but I was just like, you know what? I'd rather people watch through the entire video rather than not watch through the entire video, because it was just too much nonsense in the video.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about YouTube, is you have to make the retention great. So if it doesn't add to your story, unfortunately, nowadays you have to cut it out. I'm trying with the Port Canaveral stuff to do like 8-minute videos, which I usually, if it's a normal video where it's a good storytelling, it's usually 4 minutes long. But I'm trying with the ship spotting videos just to have a lot more footage, make them longer videos to see how YouTube likes those better. Somehow it works, sometimes it's not. It's very interesting. But as you can see here with the other result, that the result of cutting things out worked great, because as you can see here, the video is not even a month yet, and it's already at 2,000 views.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying your ship spotting videos lately. They've been really good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying out some new things. The next one coming out will be a very interesting one, as the camera stopped working halfway through one of the sailaways. So it's funny. So the camera was recording. I actually left to go fly the drone. So I had the camera there. Brandon was watching it, making sure no one took it. And the camera, after it recorded 29 minutes, and then it stopped recording. So the Mardi Gras went out of the channel, did the U-turn, and then came back. Right when it was about to pass the camera stopped recording. So...
Oh no!
Luckily,
were you shooting in 4K?
Yeah, I was shooting in 4K. So the thing about one of my cameras, not this one, not the one you use. So we both have the same B-roll camera. This one only records 20 minutes or so, but the other one I used is 29. 59 is the max it can actually use. That one, you have to shoot in 4K because the picture quality looked terrible if you shoot in 1080. But yeah, it was very unfortunate that the video you're going to be seeing. I'm gonna spoil it right here, boys and girls, that there's a clip there, Mardi Gras leaving the channel. It's from a few weekends ago, because never made that video, the one that came out a few weekends ago, and it's kind of the same lighting. So shh, don't tell anyone, okay? There you go. How about that? So again, y'all, if you have any questions, of course, for any of us, feel free to tag us in chat. Again, it's any questions, cruising, content creation, feel free to ask us. Again, we're going to be here for an extra 20 more minutes. Again, that's around till around 8:20 or so. So again, tag us in chat at the Tyler Show. We'll do our best to answer those questions. I want to say hey to Rob for cruising on the high seas. It's good to have you in here, buddy. And again, another interesting thing with your channel is you do ship spotting, and I gotta say these ship spotting videos are just next level. Like I'm watching a Hollywood movie, and I'm not just saying this just because the drone footage. And one of the cool things about Galveston is they're very relaxed with the drone footage. Unlike here in Canaveral, it's like flying at Fort Knox.
Yeah, because y'all are close to those spaceships, right?
Yeah, we're close, and the Air Force, they're very strict, but not even just that. I mean, the port itself is very strict, which is very weird because if you read the FAA laws, I'm not going to get into a lot in this stream, but the FAA's law says you can fly over anyone's property. It doesn't really matter, so it's very, very interesting. So that's why we have not seen any drone footage here on the channel, because it's very strict with the whole drone footage stuff. So, and again, y'all, Nick does the cruise spotting in Galveston. Next year, you're going to be getting a lot of good ships. So are we going to be seeing some more cruise ship spotting videos?
Oh, yeah, for sure. The Prima is going to be making a stop in Galveston later this year. So we're going to be checking that out. Allure's coming. So that's going to be awesome. We got Jubilee after that. So it's just going to be a really great year for Galveston. And I'm really excited to see how that kind of builds up from where it is now.
Absolutely. The only thing you guys are missing there in Galveston is a newer Disney ship. I know you guys got the Wonder, but you guys need one of the newer Disney ships. Because that's one thing I wish.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to say something about the colors of the ships, but you can go ahead. What you're going to say.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say we've had the Wonder, I believe, for I don't know how long now, but we've had that ship, and I think we're getting the Magic later this year.
That's great to hear that y'all are getting the Magic. Very similar ships, but this Disney is such a pretty picture ship to take photos of, especially with drone footage. Oh, it's just stunning. The ships are just picturesque. It's one thing I love about Disney. It's just amazing. The gold, the blue, it's very, very pretty.
I wish I could get footage on it, though. They just need to lower those prices.
Yes, Disney, if you're watching this, but I doubt you are, please, again, me and Nick will do a collaboration together on one of your ships. We'll get you amazing footage. Here's the deal. Just again, here's the deal. We'll do it for free, too. Only thing you guys got to do is provide us a nice room on board, and we'll give you some amazing B-roll. How about that, Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, again, y'all in Galveston, again, getting some amazing ships like the Allure, the Jubilee, even the Prima. I mean, it's so good to see finally guys are getting some newer ships. Hopefully the Allure will go into dry dock before she gets here and she'll get the water slides. But even if not that, still a beautiful ship to get, especially when you fly over the top of her with the drone, or just it's just stunning.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely amazing to hopefully next year I'll be able to get back down there to Galveston again. Hopefully next summer. Fingers crossed. Hopefully to get some more, beautiful shots of the ships there. Galveston's actually my number 2 port to ship spot from, just because it's such a open port, like Port Canaveral. There's a lot of shops, restaurants, and all that good stuff down near the port, compared to Miami, which is very, very closed up. But it's absolutely a great port, that is for sure.
Yeah.
So we have a question in here in the chat from John. He says, question, Nick, do you sail out of Florida?
So, never sailed out of Florida before. Only sailed out of Galveston. But we're trying to make plans to sail from Florida next year. We're looking at the sunrise and the Mardi Gras, as well as the horizon. What's it called? Celebration. She goes to the same places that, let's just say the Vista. Yeah, she goes to the same places the Vista and the Dream go to. So, when we fly to Florida, we're probably going to do something like the Bahamas, because I've never been to the Bahamas before. So, I've been to Florida once, though.
We got to get you over here to Port Canaveral, and we got to get you on the Mardi Gras. I mean, a little biased here, but the Mardi Gras is just amazing. I dare say, better than Celebration. I mean, I can't say that, but I mean, hasn't gone out yet, but biased. Mardi Gras is amazing. How about that?
For sure.
And again, if you have any questions, of course, tag us in chat. Again, we're going to be answering your cruise questions about Galveston. One of the cool things about Galveston, back to the topic of the port, is they have the ferries there, which is very, very cool to see. That is for sure. Because here in Canaveral, no such things, but very cool to see with the ships leaving. one thing, story, I believe this is story time right here. We're going to talk about when I was over there in Galveston with Nick. We were flying the drone together, and that was very nerve-wracking right there. That was, I'm sure you remember, I was very freaking out about that. I was very close to losing the drone, so great time.
Yeah. Yep.
But Rob has a question. He says, if you're going to join us on the group cruise in October, talking to me. To answer that question, Rob, I am not sure. October is a very busy schedule for me. Again, it's just a very busy schedule with work, school, you name it. It's an absolute busy time of year. So who knows? Can't draw anything out of the question, but as of right now, not quite sure. Also, Amy's here, so I want to say hey to Amy. It's good to have you in here. Appreciate you joining us. So Nick, this next question is, what is your plans going forward into the channel? So what can folks look forward to beyond the Breeze series as we wait for the next series, which should be coming out hopefully in the August time frame? So what can people look forward to before we see the next cruise vlogs?
So you should be able to expect lots more Galveston cruising related content, because that has tended to be my most popular type of content. So I almost dropped my phone. Around spring break time, you'll be able to find some more kind of hotel reviews and places to visit before your cruise, places to park, stuff like that. And then we should be rolling straight into the next series right after that, which I'm really excited for. Should be coming around summertime 2022. So
yep,
really
next
excited.
series is going to be fire. Can't wait for that one. But yeah, again, that's kind of like me and you have something very similar together, which is like we're like, you're the Galveston, I'm the Canaveral, when we both kind of guides the cruise port. You do like the vacation from Galveston, I do the vacation from Florida Space Coast. It's kind of a niche that we both kind of digged ourselves into, which is focusing on the cruise port, and it's really awesome. I mean, I love doing what I do, and I'm glad I found this niche.
Oh yeah, same.
So again, y'all, if you have not checked Nick's channel out, there's a link in the description below where you can go ahead and check his channel out. Of course, if you have not seen his newest video already, you got to check it out. I mean, it is one of the best videos ever on YouTube. I'm going to show a little sneak preview for the folks. Nick provided me this cool video, of course, of his sneak peek of his video. Again, check the full video out, I believe, on his channel, down in the description below. So when you were filming this video, Nick, how many minutes of footage did you actually have? Around a rough number, how many of raw footage did you actually have?
Wow. Maybe 6 or 7 hours of footage. It was quite a bit. That's why like editing the video actually didn't take an incredible amount of time. It was mainly sorting through all the footage, because there were lots of good clips and also lots of bad clips. So I kind of had to sort through all of that, delete footage, find out ones that I wanted to use, and substitute everything and color grade it. But no, yeah, I had about 7-8 hours of footage, something like that.
Just in the first day alone, that is crazy.
Oh well, not the first day.
Okay,
First day I had maybe 2.5 hours.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering, 7 hours of footage. That's a lot for the first day. I was like, wow, that must be. You must have a hard drive that's probably full just on one day.
Yeah, no, my hard drive's definitely full now.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I'm going through hard drives and flash cards left and right here, and I don't even do that much content.
Yeah.
I mean, just a ship spotting triple one will go through 120 gigabyte hard drive just on 6 hours of spotting. So that's one of the things I regret not doing on my early cruises, is I didn't back up the footage on the ship, and I've learned those mistakes, because that's not something you do not want to do.
Yeah.
Because if you don't back up your footage, y'all, unfortunately, if you get your camera in the water or you lose your camera, like I do at the Port Canaveral, your footage is bye-bye. So you always want to make sure you back up your footage if you're on a cruise. Yeah, so that's not fun. Nick, have you lost any of your cameras yet? I doubt you have, but have you lost any of your cameras yet?
Not that I know of. I hope I didn't lose anything.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure, we don't want to make you lose any of your gears. So, yeah, that's one of the things, though. Yeah. I asked a lot of creators that, and unfortunately, a lot of people actually have lost their camera. It's not even like them losing it. Like they left it somewhere. The camera gets corrupted. Like Brandon had his GoPro on the water slide. He got the water hit the GoPro, and the GoPro is supposed to be waterproof, and it wasn't waterproof. So,
yeah.
So our next question here is, what is the plans going forward with new gear? Are you sticking with the gear you got? Any plans for future gear?
Next thing I'm thinking of is probably let's see, probably a new drone. Whenever they come out with, I'm probably gonna stick with the mini series of drones because it's like you don't have to do a whole bunch of work in terms of like registration and worrying about where you have to fly and everything. So whenever they come out with like a Mavic Mini 3, if that's a thing, or maybe a 4, I might end up switching to that. But so far, all of my cameras been really enjoying it. iPhone 13 Pro is my phone I just got, and the camera is absolutely fantastic on that phone. It's just top notch.
Yeah, the phones are fantastic for cameras. I love though I have the Samsung here. The wide angle lens on this phone is just amazing for what you get. Phones I believe are fantastic with wide angle lenses. When you zoom in a little bit on the phone, it loses a little bit of quality, but yeah, that's for sure. And the mini series, as mentioned, the mini series is awesome to fly. I love the mini. The only thing I would want to upgrade my drone for in the future, but I have to get the FAA license, and that's very complex if you want to get above the mini. Is maybe getting a more bigger drone so I can the wind at the port, because if you fly with a lot of wind, it really gets a little sketchy.
Yeah, for sure.
So I got a question here from John from Jane and Travels. He says, how many cruises have each of you been on? Nick, do you want to go first on this one?
Sure. So I've been on a total of 6 cruises. 6.
6. Okay, so yeah, for me, I have been on a total of 11 cruises in my only 16 or so years. So it's just crazy. I've been on over 11 cruises. All been Royal Caribbean. So I think, Nick, all of yours been Carnival, if I'm not mistaken. So
all Carnival.
That is good to see. Of course, hopefully one of these days we'll get you on the Royal Caribbean and see what your experiences on that on. And again, folks, this is a tip. Doesn't matter what cruise line you sail, always sail some of their newer ships if it's your first time on the cruise to get the best experience. For example, like don't go on the Fantasy as your first ship, but I mean, you can't even go on the Fantasy because your first ship because it's in India.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's in its grave.
I was supposed to make that was another failed attempt at a bad joke right there. So again, if you have any questions, let us know in the chat. We have a question here from Vegas 99. He says, Nick, do you only cruise from Galveston?
So as of right now, I've only cruised from Galveston, and about the next potentially 2 cruises that we have scheduled are going to be from Galveston as well. But our next move is either going to be somewhere in Florida or New Orleans. We're really looking at New Orleans because sailing down the Mississippi, it looks really, really cool. And the cruises aren't expensive from New Orleans at all. So we might end up having to hop on one of the New Orleans cruises.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do New Orleans one of these days, especially sailing down the Mississippi River. That's just spectacular. I can see. I especially love when the 2 ships pass. If you're lucky enough when the 2 ships pass right in the mid, that's just amazing.
Yeah, if you leave on like a Saturday, you should be able to pass. Because I know Carnival Glory, she goes to, or not Orlando, New Orleans. And then I think Norwegian has the getaway down there. So if you leave on a Saturday on one of the ships, I believe the Valor leaves, you should be able to see those 2 late at night passing you.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the coolest things is doing those cruise ship parades. I know here in Canaveral, that's pretty cool. Not as cool as the Mississippi River, of course, where you get to pass the ships, but it's still very cool when there's a parade of ships, especially like Carnival. They always time theirs where it's pretty much a parade. So if you're in Canaveral, for example, they have like the Magic leaves first and then the Mardi Gras or vice versa. So it's always cool you get to pass another ship. And sometimes if you're lucky, they'll do a horn battle. And the only sad part is if you're with Carnival and you go on one of the older ships, prepared to lose against the Mardi Gras because the Magic's horn, just for example here in Canaveral, the Magic's horn is very, very weak. So
sounds airy.
Yeah, that is for sure. Again, y'all, if you have any questions, again, tag us in chat. We do appreciate it. And again, the Down Under Cruisers have corrected their mistake. They have fixed they have fixed their connection problem, which is again not being subscribed to your channel. So thank you again, the Down Under Cruisers. We do appreciate it. And again, I do want to thank Nick for coming on the show today, taking time out of his Friday night to be with us. It's always good chatting with Nick. So, Nick, again, I want to extend a thanks for having coming on the show, I should say.
Yeah, thank you.
And again, Nick, guys, if you have not followed Nick already, you can go ahead and follow him on most social media platforms. Again, that is at Travel with Nick. Again, just fantastic content all around. I started watching from basically the beginning. I think we've been friends since YouTube friends since the beginning. I think since what series was that?
Well, it was supposed to be the Carnival Freedom, but that ended up getting canceled.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. You got a long way, and I mean, I believe you're going to surpass me in subscribers because the content is it's next level stuff. So,
thank you.
And we got a question here. Again, we're going to do a rapid fire question within the next 10 minutes. So again, we're going to get to as much questions as we can within the next 10 minutes. We have a question here from Vegas Knight. He says, "Do you guys like MSC?" I'm going to go first and answer that one. With their prices are just astonishing. They're just very, very cheap. And I personally have never sailed MSC, so I don't have as diehard of an opinion on them. I know their ships look absolutely amazing. However, I did hear that their food and their service is hit and miss. But besides that, their ships and the pricing looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I agree. The ships are absolutely stunning. The prices, fantastic. I mean, we just want to, like, I was talking to my parents about it, and they were like, well, why can't we just go? But I was like, the service, and I don't know if I would want to travel all the way to Florida because that's currently where they sail from the U.S. So I don't know if I want to travel all the way there for some potential bad experience, which has been quite common in the reviews. So.
Yeah, what you have to do, Nick, is you have to come down here to Florida, and you have to do a Carnival cruise, short Carnival cruise, and then you have to do another cruise line, a shorter cruise like MSC. The problem with MSC is out of Florida, they're really weird with their dates. Like here in Canaveral, they do the 3-night cruise. I think it leaves on a Thursday and comes back on a Sunday, which is really weird because they usually Friday to Monday, but it's very weird. But yeah, for sure. That's one of the things. If you're coming down here to Florida, great strategy. If you want to try more cruise lines when you're time down here, try to hop on one of the shorter sailings, and then you can do 2 cruise lines at once or 2 cruise ships at once with the same amount of vacation time.
Yeah.
So we got a question here from Rob. He says, when you're of age, would you sail Virgin voyages?
So I'm sure I will eventually cruise them. They're quite interesting. So, but yeah, I would definitely try them out.
Yeah, I agree with Nick there. They're very, very interesting. And yeah, I probably would do Virgin voyages if I was of age. They're probably not my type of cruise. I do like the party cruises, but this is a little very interesting. Again, I haven't actually sailed them, so I don't have my exact opinions on them, but they look very interesting. And if I was of that age, 25 or so, maybe I would sail them. But as of right now, they're not exactly the most appealing to me. But again, that is my opinion so far. But their ships are absolutely stunning. Don't get me wrong. The colors are just stunning. Oh,
yeah. I've heard that they were supposed to be making like a family ship eventually. So might be interested in trying them then.
Buddy, I don't know how in the world they're going to go from pure adult to family. That's a transition.
Exactly. That's what I was wondering.
How the world are you going to do that? That's like going from, selling alcohol to selling kid drinks, Capri Suns. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
That's a weird transition.
We'll see how they pull that off.
Yeah, again, don't know how they're going to do it, but someone from Virgin Voyage is watching the show. If you want to come on the program, we have an open format show. We don't take anything too seriously here. You can share us how you're going to get your plans to make a family cruise line. And here's the deal. You can hire me, Nick, to be the person who runs your social media account. How about that?
Yeah.
So, again, y'all, we're going to do the final moments of the show. If you have any questions for Nick, again, feel free to tag us in chat. And again, if you have not followed Nick on any social media platforms, that again, that is at Travel with Nick. So again, also link the channel down in the description below. You can support him on Patreon again. That allows him to do even more content in the future, get brand new gear and stuff. So again, that is, I believe, Travel with Nick on Patreon. Go ahead and check him out. Give him a little bit of support over there, because the content absolutely amazing. And again, it's absolutely an honor to know you, as again, you're such a great person. So again, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show yet again.
And I'll right back at you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime. And again, anytime you want to come on, just let me know. Happy to have you on.
Yeah, thank you.
And then Rob is saying, how do I get you on my show one day? So you can go ahead.
Just ask.
Yep, there you go. And the best way to ask any questions to Nick, I believe, is to DM him on Instagram. So that is at Travel with Nick.
Yep. Or just let me know in one of the comments of my videos. I respond pretty fast over there. Facebook Messenger, wouldn't necessarily recommend it because I'm hardly on Facebook. Whatever goes on Instagram just kind of gets automatically duplicated. So it may appear like I'm on Facebook a lot, but I'm really not. So just kind of a heads up. You might as well just DM me or leave a comment in one of my videos.
Yeah, again, Instagram is probably the best way, to get in contact with me. The business email, I have a business email. I read that very rarely, but again, the best way to get in contact with me is, of course, also on Instagram. That is at the Cruise Show, which I just hit 1,000 followers on Instagram. I don't know how in the world that happened, but I want to... Thank you, Nick. I don't know how in the world that happened because I don't post that much over there. I'm trying to get into a habit of posting every 2 days, but again, I'm thankful for all of you guys following me on Instagram. And if you watch this show because either one of Nick's or my stories of this live stream, I want to, again, appreciate you. And if it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you feel welcomed. And again, I really do appreciate all of the support over the past few years, guys. It absolutely means the world to us to have you guys, the awesome community, supporting us with all of our videos. And again, as we say here, we wouldn't have a YouTube channel, Instagram account without the supporters. So again, want to extend a hand to all of our supporters. And if you have any questions, always feel free to tag us in chat again, or just simply reach out to us on Instagram. That's the best way to do that. And again, we're starting to spool down the stream, as you can see here. Again, if you have any more questions, this is the last few minutes to get it in. Again, Nick, when can we expect the next video? Of course, we both know that we're both very busy with the editing and stuff, but around the time frame, this next few weeks, months.
So honestly, definitely within the next few days. I'm gonna try my best and get it out this weekend, but if I can't, I apologize. Probably going to be next Saturday if I can't get it out either tomorrow or Sunday. So it's definitely going to be coming soon. And then the whole entire series, we're going to try and wrap that up around the end of March. So we're going to try and keep it to that time frame.
Sounds good. Yes, that is for sure. Again, we also have Hani's in the chat from the Beach Life. Hani, it is good to have you in here, buddy. So again, y'all, Nick's Breeze series is amazing so far. Go check it out. Again, what can we look forward to in the next few episodes? So the next one's going to be the Sea Day, but you want to give us any other videos? So are there going to be any extra special videos like how to thrill and chill on the breeze? Is that the next video, or is that coming a little bit further down the pipeline?
Yeah, so the thrill and chill part, I was going to make that on the Sea Day, but it kind of ended up getting mixed into our day in Cozumel and the first Sea Day. But anyways, the first Sea Day is going to be kind of covering the things that you can just do on a Carnival ship during a Sea Day. So you can go on like a fantasy class ship, you can go on one of the big ships, just things that kind of are on all Carnival ships. We covered that in the next video. And then in Cozumel, it's just kind of more of a vlog style, just kind of coming along with us on the island, checking out the shopping and that new place that we found. We also tried out the water park, which I've got to recommend if you want some thrill on the breeze. You got to try out the Twister. Can't wait to show you guys my reaction because I was like, that slide, you're all up on the side of it when you're going in those big twists and everything. But I'll save that for that day. And then the last day, which is the last video, we have the interview with Erin. I ended up getting an interview with her. She was absolutely amazing, cruise director. Got to sail with her. And then we've got some a big blooper reel coming up because there was a lot of those.
Yeah, that's one thing for sure. The bloopers, you got to see me. When you see me in person, I do the videos. It takes me like 3 takes just to say what you see on the video. So bloopers, I tell you, I need to start including those into the videos because it's always like, I'll say something. I'll be like, today we're here in Port Canaveral, but early in the video I already said we're in Port Canaveral. And I'll be like, oh, no. So yeah. Bloopers are something that all of us creators have, or maybe if you're an amazing creator, you don't have bloopers, but something that a lot of the audience don't see. But it's one of the things about these videos that we have to edit. A lot of bloopers we cut out.
Yeah, I filmed the whole entire series outro. It was like 2 or 3 minutes long. I filmed it with the camera backwards.
Oh, yeah. I was I was at the port, and I filmed the whole video on my phone. So I was like, "Yo, today we're here with the MSC ship," and then somehow I forgot to touch the record button. And the thing
that's happened a bunch of times.
Yeah, but the thing is, Nick, this didn't just happen once. I tapped it once. I was like, "Oh no!" I touched record again. And then I came back and it still didn't record. So I was like, it took me 4 tries to get this intro because the thing didn't even record. So I tell you, this is the things us content creators. It could be a reality TV show, like the day in the life of a content creator. It's just that great.
Yeah.
But again, y'all, we're spooling down our show. We're going to pay again a big round of applause for Nick for joining us, and just a big thank you for coming on the show. We always appreciate and always fun chatting with you. And again, if you want to follow Nick, again, that's at Travel with Nick on almost every social media platform, I believe. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So those are the best ways to go ahead and follow him. Again, that is at Travel with Nick. I am Tyler, though, and you can follow me on most social media platforms. It's at The Cruise Junkie. On Instagram, that is at The Cruise Show. So, Nick, any final remarks you want to give our audience?
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate seeing everybody in the chat and asking questions. And yeah, thank you so much, Tyler, for having me on.
It was my honor. And again, we'll be right back here, hopefully as soon as next Friday. I'm trying to get that new video done. But until then, y'all, thank you so much for watching and have a very great weekend.